Is this on? I can't tell, but I think it is. If you want to communicate with me today on this podcast, or if you're listening to the live stream, you'll have to send a chat on YouTube because my phone is being used as the camera today, so I will not be able to know who's texting me. Anyway, I was just waiting for people to get in. I wasn't even sure if this thing has started yet. I'm going to do my applause. People are really excited about this. Thank you, everybody. Thanks. It's good to be here. It's good to be here. Back in my bedroom with you today. My apartment. My name is FastHeartMart. This is my podcast. If you want to know why I'm called FastHeartMart, just look it up. It probably does not mean what you think it does. It probably comes from a place where you have no idea where it comes from. A lot of people assume what they know. They know what FastHeartMart means, but they usually don't know. All right, today, this episode, I'm going to talk about what's happened with me over the last 3 years and a lot of us in the world. I mentioned this a little bit last time in the podcast, which was a live stream, which never really. It was kind of a. What is it, like a dress rehearsal. It wasn't a real run. It was fun though, and people tuned in, and it was a lot of fun. There was technical difficulties, but today there's not going to be any technical difficulties. This will be a perfect podcast. But yeah, I was going to talk a little bit about the fact that we had a pandemic 3 years ago, and I still see people wearing masks, which is fine. Some people think it's over. Some people think it never began. And it's just created, as we all know, I think we can all agree that it's created a weird culture in the world where people don't know what they agree on and what they don't. I'm trying to figure out if this thing is actually airing. I don't even know if it is. I'm going to look at my YouTube channel and just make sure it is on. Just bear with me 1 second. This might be one technical difficulty in this perfect podcast. Here, let's see. It should be on. Can't tell if it's going live or not. Okay, Samuel Golden, thanks dude for letting me know. Sam he's my neighbor down the street, and he's becoming a friend of mine. He's been helping me work on my car. I've been working on my car all week, and as you know, being a self-employed musician, you don't make a ton of money, so you kind of have to work on your car, and you have to be able to do everything yourself. It's madness. It's total madness. So thanks a lot to Sam for helping me so much with my car this week. I've got another day or two to work on it, and hopefully I get it done. I'm at that point with it where everything's taken apart. I don't know how many of you work on cars, but whenever you take a car apart to fix something, you're always thinking in the back of your head, you're like, is my car ever going to run again? And I'm pretty good at working on cars. I'm not amazing at it, but have a pretty good track record of not leaving my car completely unfixed and broken down for long periods of time. If I say I'm going to fix it, I usually do. It might be a little bit stressful, but yeah, that's what's been happening with me this week, and it's amazing that I'm even able to do this podcast today, or this live stream. I don't know where everybody else is, but I'm glad Sam's here. It seemed like there was a lot more people chiming in on the chat last time, but anyway, yeah, 3 years ago we had this pandemic, and it created a fracture in our society. I think we can all agree on that. I like to talk about the things we can all agree on. I think we all agree that we're kind of all in our different camps, and lately I've noticed how there's infighting amongst all the camps, or all the tribes, whatever you want to call it. I mean, you had a really strong Trump supporting community, maybe the MAGA people, the Make America Great Again. That seemed to be a really strong movement. I know a lot of people were against it, and I understand that. I don't necessarily agree or disagree with that, but I understand people were against it. And again, I don't necessarily agree or disagree with the with the MAGA movement. I have a lot of good friends, and I think there's some really good people in there, and that's all I'll say about it. I know I sound like Donald Trump when I say that, but that's how I feel about it. Oh, there's my mom. She chimed in. So as long as my mom's watching, then I know we're good. Yeah, so it created this rift, and we have a lot of infighting even now amongst the Trumpers. The Trumpers are fighting with the DeSantis people. And so you got a lot of infighting in the Trumpers. I'm not even sure the MAGA movement is really together anymore. You have a lot of people who are holding on to Trump as being the savior. And again, I'm not anti-Trump. I'm not for Trump. I'm not against Trump. I'm for Trump just as much as I've been for any president in the United States. It's just kind of whatever. But I really don't understand what people see in Trump anymore. I did see what they saw in Trump back in 2015 and 16. And the first 3 years of his presidency, I saw what they saw. But that last year of his presidency and all the way up to today, I'm not sure Trump is the same guy that all these people are rooting on for him. But it's an interesting discussion because I have a lot of Trumper friends, a lot of MAGA friends, and I respect them. I'm not dissing them. But and now I can't see where they're coming from. And it's not just these movements. It's like even in the truther movement or the truther movement, in my opinion, basically is just people who, truthers are people who are not afraid to talk about any subject that they want to talk about. AJ's Adventures. Hey man, good to see you. Howdy. So yeah, I'm trying to talk to people and talk to this podcast at the same time. I'll quit listening. I'll quit watching the chat. Thanks everybody for chiming in. Where was I at? So people were like infighting and all this stuff. And I think I've even seen it in the LGBTQ community, all the letters. Again, not for or against that community. I think they have a great point to make. I think a lot of people have in history been chastised for their sexuality, and I think it's important that people not be chastised for their sexuality anymore. I think that's really, really important. I have some friends who are gay, and one of my friends is my best friend I've had since I was a teenager. Actually, before I was a teenager, and he, it was really hard for him, I know he didn't really pick to be that way. I don't think that's what he says, and I don't think he did either. So I don't think people choose to be that way. So that's what I'm going to say about the LGBTQ community. And even in that community, there's some infighting going on with the trans movement. Or I heard this story of it was a lesbian website. It was a lesbian dating site, and they didn't want to allow trans men on there. Basically, men who were transitioning to be women, or men who were dressing up like women but still had penises. And I guess this lesbian dating site didn't want the trans men on there, and I get that. But then they got all kinds of hate for that, being called transphobic. And it's just like, I just think that all these tribes that were at one time were really strong, I think they're all kind of breaking down now. And I'm really optimistic about that because I think that will lead to world peace. When there's no tribes left but one big tribe, we're all one world, one human race. And we realize we're never going to agree on everything. There's a lot to disagree about. I think that's going to bring about world peace. One of the things that's what I was talking about earlier. The truthers. The truther movement, in my opinion, is basically people who are not afraid to explore any subject and listen to people's opinions from all walks of life and sincerely consider their opinion. I think that is a truther. Somebody who says, well, let's hear from what this racist Nazi has to say. And we're not going to agree with them necessarily. We're just going to listen to what he has to say and see if there's anything about what he's saying that we can find common ground with. Because I think ultimately that is the way to find truth and to find world peace, is to focus on the common ground. And something lately I've been kind of in arguments with my truther friends, is RFK Jr. And I'm not saying I love RFK Jr., and I'm definitely not saying I'm voting for him for president. I'm just saying he's always been very impressive when it came to the issue of Big Pharma. He's been exposing Big Pharma for years and years now. He certainly was, in the middle of the pandemic, he was a great voice, strong voice. And he was somebody that encouraged me a lot during the pandemic. I know one time he gave a speech, and if you did take the vaccines and all that stuff, that's fine. I get that. I respect that even. But if somebody like myself who didn't take the vaccine, it would seem like 95 to 99% of the world was taking it and were on board. You felt very alone at times. You felt like, oh my God, what is going on? Am I living in a horror movie right now? So it was important to hear somebody like RFK Jr. giving these speeches that he gave, saying why he wouldn't take it and why he encouraged us to believe in ourselves. And at the end of this one speech that he gave, I think it was early 2021, when the vaccines were really rolling out and people were starting to get crazy about it, he said to the crowd as he closed, he said, I don't know what's going to happen to us, people who are disagreeing with this whole campaign, but he said, I'm gonna die with you, and I'll die with my boots on. And I have to admit, I kind of cried when he said that, because I believed him, and that's the way I felt about it too. So anyway, that's what I was talking about on this podcast. This podcast is for ranting about whatever I want to rant about, and I appreciate everybody listening. I guess I'll play a song. It's so weird not having anybody like talking to me or whatever on giving me keep the chats up. Thanks, y'all. I'm trying not to look too much when I gave my spiel, but I'm gonna play a song. I think I'll start with a song by Nirvana. Actually, my friend in North Kakalaki, North Carolina, she requested to do a Nirvana song today, and I'm gonna do "Smells Like Teen Spirit," the most famous Nirvana song ever made. My friend Mitch recorded this cover that I'm gonna do, and he's releasing it on Spotify. It should be out in the middle of August. Let's see where. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. Here we go. Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and selfish. I don't know, I heard a dirty word. Hello, 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 with the lights out. It's less dangerous, here we are now, entertain us. I feel so stupid and contagious, here we are now, entertain us. I'm mulatto, I'm albino, I'm mosquito, my libido, yeah. I'm worsted wood, I do best, and for this gift I feel so blessed. A little child that always and always will until the end. Hello, 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 with the lights out. It's less dangerous, here we are now, entertain us. I feel so stupid and contagious, here Yeah. And I forget just what it takes to know, yeah, it makes me smile. I found it hard, it's hard to find a way, whatever, never mind. Hello, 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 with the lights out. It's less dangerous, here we are now, entertain us. I feel so stupid and contagious, here we are now, entertain us. I'm mulatto, I'm albino, I'm mosquito, my libido, I denial, I denial, I denial, I denial, I denial. Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate that, everybody. Thanks. Appreciate it. You're really nice audience. Really kind. All right, looks like my friend Josh was asking, Josh Lovers, my good friend from high school, is this live or? It is live, Josh. I hope you're still listening. I hope everybody feels like it sounds great, and not just my mom. Thanks, Mom, for all the compliments. Of course, my mom is my #1 fan, and my dad, I think, is my #2 fan. So thanks, Mom and Dad, for tuning in. I didn't get to finish my thought on that RFK Jr. thing, though, so I'll finish that. My brain is really scattered right now. There's like 50 million things going on all at once, and I don't even know why I decided to do this live stream today. I just told myself I would go live once a month, and it's been a month, so this is the last week before the end of July, so I had to do it. This was the only day I had to do it. But I am so scatterbrained right now. And the reason I say stuff like this is I'm not complaining. I'm really not complaining. I'm very grateful. I have a lot to be grateful for. Don't think that. This apartment is amazing. I have really nice musical instruments. I have a lot to be grateful for. I am not complaining. And the reason I say stuff like this is because we live in a world now where everybody's so isolated, and you sometimes can feel like you're the only one that has bad feelings or negative emotions and stuff like that. And the reason I always speak what's on my mind, or try to always speak what's on my mind, is because I want the rest of the world to know that they're not alone in their loneliness and their isolation, sorrow. We're all out here struggling. Oh, Liz, what's up? Good to see you, Liz, or good to see your icon. So yeah, that's why I'm honest. But that everything there's been like 50 million things going on. What is Josh saying? Glad you cleared that up. You're right about those guitars. That thing looks and sounds cool. Yeah, Josh was like, hey Josh, thanks, man. Josh was I think he was giving me stuff when I ordered this guitar like 2 or 3 years ago. He was like, maybe didn't. I thought he's like, that thing's gonna sound like trash. One of my friends said that for sure. And I think it was Mike Hill, he's a great guy too. But I don't blame people. I thought, well, there's no way. This thing costs like $250, which is not that expensive for a guitar. And it does sound great. That's a whole nother subject, but I actually bought another new guitar. I know my friends give me stuff about this all the time, but this seriously is the ultimate guitar. It's like, it does alternate tunings for you, and it sounds like it's been around for a long time. I actually almost bought one like 20 years ago, but I never did. And it's kind of like, I feel like I regret it. So I finally got one for a good price. This guy in Texas sold me one, and it's on its way. It should be here tomorrow. And if I live stream next week or the week after, I should be playing that guitar, which will be super cool, because it changes tunings on the fly. Because I use a lot of alternate tunings, if anybody knows what that is. Basically, you have to tune all your strings, which takes time. And I'll do some of that today probably, but this guitar you don't have to tune. You don't have to mess with this at all. You just set it to standard here, and then you push this button and it does all the rest for you. And it's all virtual, but I did try one of the electric guitar versions of that but one time, and it was awesome. So got one of those coming, new guitar coming in. Anyway, let me finish this thought on RFK Jr. before I forget, and I'll do a little ranting about being a self-employed musician later. But RFK Jr. is getting crap from the truther community, and again, my friends in the truther community are some of my best friends. I love these people, and we are disagreeing, but we still love each other, and that's really what life is about, is being able to disagree and still find the love. So what they're saying is RFK Jr. is a shill because he's not talking about what is called terrain theory. Terrain theory is kind of the opposite of germ theory. Germ theory, basically, as we all have been taught from a young age, it teaches us that viruses and bacteria are what cause infections. A virus will spread, from your mouth or nose or wherever and get into somebody else, and then that will cause toxicity or sickness or illness. But the other camp is called terrain theory, and terrain theory me talking about this on YouTube might actually get me kicked off because it's counter to a lot of what a lot of scientists think. But there's a lot of really good scientists who believe in terrain theory, which basically means terrain theory is when you believe that illness is actually caused more by toxicity. It's not caused by bacteria necessarily. It can be, and it's not caused by viruses. It's caused by the terrain or the health of the cells. Maybe the cell is too dry or too wet or too hot, too cold, those kind of conditions. And one of the big things that the terrain theorists point out is that blaming viruses for an infection is like blaming the flies for the garbage pile, where you have all these flies flying around the garbage pile, but they're not actually the ones that caused it. We did. We're the ones that threw all the garbage out there and it's all rotting. And actually the flies are decomposing it. They're breaking it down with the maggots and all that stuff. It's disgusting, of course. But that's what terrain theorists propose that the viruses are doing. The viruses are only at the source of toxicity because they're cleaning it up and breaking down the toxicity. And so these people are very smart people, and I'm into it. I'm into terrain theory. I'm open to the idea. Really am. Just like I'm open to the idea of flat earth or round earth. I'm agnostic on so many of these subjects. I love hearing people's intelligent perspectives. I really do, from all walks of life. So, and I shouldn't have talked about flat earth, because when you say you're open to flat earth, people get nuts. But I think people understand where I'm coming from most of the time, because I'm not saying the earth is definitely flat. I'm just saying I understand where the flat earthers are coming from. I've had some very, very intelligent friends who are flat earthers, and I'm serious. I've had one of my friends who passed away a couple years ago. His name was Ed. What a good guy. And he was an older guy, but he was a cartographer and which is a map maker, and a hydraulics engineer of some kind. He basically ran pipelines for hundreds and thousands of miles. And he said, I never had to factor in the curvature of the earth for these pipelines. And he's like, you can believe we're on a ball if you want to, Martin, but we're not. That's the way he put it to me, and then that got me really interested in what he was saying, so I asked him more questions, and that's when I became open to the flat earth theory. Anyway, back to not that, because that's a whole other can of worms. But this terrain theory, people are saying just because RFK Jr. is not talking about terrain theory, that he must be a shill. Well, and I get that. Maybe he is a shill. Maybe RFK Jr. is the next Donald Trump who's just gonna wreak havoc. And I'm not coming down on Trump. I'm trying not to be hard on Trump. I try to see the good things that he's done, and I think there's a lot of really redeemable things about Trump. So, but maybe RFK Jr. is the next puppet to get everybody all riled up or whatever. I don't know. But all I know is that he's been for decades now fighting big pharma and the chemical companies, the chemical warfare that we're under, and he knows a lot. I mean, he wrote the book The Real Anthony Fauci, which is an amazing book. I haven't read it a whole lot. I've just skimmed through it, to be honest. It's really dense, and it's also really disgusting in a lot of places. What Fauci, apparently, accordingly to this book, what Fauci did to dogs and experiments on dogs and stuff, it's just really hard to read. But, so they're saying RFK Jr. is a shill because he's not talking about terrain theory. And I get that. And Dr. Shiva doesn't like RFK Jr. either. I don't even know who Dr. Shiva is until recently. He was also on, Dr. Shiva was on Anomaly the other day, and that was pretty impressive, even though Dr. Shiva barely let Anomaly talk. But Dr. Shiva's cool. He's got a good point. And that's what I'm talking about, is like all these people have such good points these days. I'm not taking sides. I'm trying to remain agnostic. I'm trying to stick up for what I believe in, which is, I don't even know anymore. But I do know it when I see it. How about another song before I rant too much longer? I think a lot of people like the ranting. I really do. I think it makes them feel good, and I hope it does. And I hope it broadens people's minds when I start ranting and raving like this. And hopefully I'm not yelling, because I don't want anybody getting stressed out there. I'm trying to stay calm. All right, just trying to say a lot because I'm like 26 minutes into this podcast live stream thing. Isn't it funny that we used to live in a world where this didn't even exist? Like, you had to go to a show and listen to somebody sing and rant between songs, but that's another story. I'll do that another day. What song am I going to do next? I think I will do... I'm going to do one of my own because I did a cover first. I'm going to do... Chinese Restaurant. I'll do a song called Chinese Restaurant. That's a good one, if I do say so myself. This song's about living passionately and doing what you know is right, because one day we will transform to the other side. Chinese restaurant, eating fried rice, soaking up soy sauce, Azodiac for my placemat, gets me wondering. Play guitar and sing, I'm living my dream. So when the doctor tells me I am dying, just maybe I can have happy knowing that I have lived passionately. Yeah. Bring me a bill with a fortune cookie that I forget to read, 'cause my poor wallet can't afford it. Now I'm washing the dishes. play guitar and sing. I'm living my dream. So when that doctor tells me that I am dying, at least, just maybe, I can die happy, knowing that I have lived passionately. Yeah. All right, thank you very much. What a nice audience. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh no, don't stop with the chanting. Don't start the chanting. I don't want anybody hurting each other. Don't hurt each other. Stop it, y'all. All right, thanks a lot. So that's a song called Chinese Restaurant. Looks like J Van noted from South Carolina, South Kakalaki. Thanks, J Van. I wonder who Heck Arts is. That's cool. Heck Arts, I don't know who you are. But thanks for thinking I rock. I appreciate that. I think I rock. I've been rocking professionally for 23 years now. 24 maybe? Who knows? Yeah, being a self-employed musician, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of freedom, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of working on your car like I've been doing all week here. I'm fixing the EGR cooler on my Toyota Prius. It's an EGR valve and cooler. They get clogged up with oil basically over time. And so to get your engine, I have 200,000 miles on my engine. So to help your engine last longer, you have to clean out this EGR pipe and this EGR cooler and the EGR valve. I just love talking like this because when I play most of my gigs, I'm not allowed to talk between the stuff because people are already talking or people are kind of just milling about. They're not really there to hear me talk. So this is nice. I get to talk about whatever I want to, which I used to do way back in the day. I used to be able to sell all kinds of CDs on the road, and before digital everything took over, digital streaming, I could sell CDs and make a lot of money. And now here we are. I'm broadcasting from my bedroom to my mom and dad and my friends from high school and my neighbor down the street and Heck Arts, whoever that is, Heck Arts. I got in touch with my friend. I've got two good friends in South Carolina now. My good friend Jeff Helton showed up the other day. I've been talking to him. He's a wild man, in a good way. He's a good guy, really good guy. Let's see, what else am I talking about here today? I've got a note here. I've got this Joe Rogan little rant that I'm going to talk about. This show is brought to you by AG1, Athletic Greens. I drink them every day. Get your Athletic Greens. Drink that. Even though you're paying for your Spotify subscription, you're still listening to me talk about things that I eat every day, and I'm giving you commercials. Why is it that we're paying for Spotify? We pay just as much for Amazon Prime or Netflix as we do for Spotify, which, producing music and podcasts is way less expensive. So in my mind, Spotify should be like half as much as like Netflix or Amazon. Anything with movies, Spotify should be like half as much. But yet, and again, I love Joe Rogan. I listen to him all the time. I'm on the road a lot. I listen to him when I'm driving. I have heard some of the most intelligent conversations I've ever heard in my life from Joe Rogan. I like Joe Rogan a lot, but every time a commercial comes on his 3-hour show, which is seems like every 15, 20 minutes now, I'm like rolling my eyes thinking, why am I paying for this Spotify subscription if I'm still listening to these commercials that break up? They always come in right when Um, the commercials always come in right when things are starting to get good on his podcast. He breaks in and is like, "This episode is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. You can hire people." And it's just like, why am I paid for? Does anybody else feel that way? And I'm sure there is. And I wanted to say that for all of you, rest of you common folk out there who listen to Spotify thinking, hey, why am I paying so much for this subscription? I thought I was going to listen to music on here, but now I'm listening to Joe Rogan podcast and I'm listening to commercials. I never have to listen to commercials when I'm listening to music on Spotify. So what's up? Why is it Joe Rogan's making so much money off of Spotify and all of us musicians are not? Well, some of us musicians are, I guess. That's what they say. I'm not. I make like, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 bucks a year. Maybe 100 at the most sometimes. On a good year. I think I did one time. Anyway. J Van says, are you selling out? No. But I would like a sponsorship. So don't be surprised if I do have some commercials on this show eventually. But for now, you can go to the Venmo. Where is the Venmo? Right there. You can go to Venmo. You can Venmo me or PayPal me. All the links are in the description of this video. So please send money. That's basically my job in life, is to find different creative ways to get people to spend money on me. And this is one of the ways. All right, let's do another song. Try to play some more songs. This song here is a song called Trailer Trash. And it's a Modest Mouse song. I think she requested most of these songs today. If you want to hear a song, just put it in the chat. If I know it, I'll play it. I mean, when I say request, I don't mean any song ever made in the universe. I'm talking about songs in my repertoire. So you can request whatever you want, but I probably won't know it unless it's in my repertoire. Okay, this song's by Modest Mouse. It's called Trailer Trash, and it's not going to have any bass. I don't remember the last time I played this. It's been a long time, probably. Eating snowflakes with plastic forks and a paper plate. Of course, you think of everything. Sleep in trailers with no class. Goddamn, I hope I can pass high school. Means nothing. Trading heartache with hard work. Oh man, I am such a jerk. I can't do anything, including play this song. How's it go? It's only 3 chords. And the shout that you're all fake. Yeah, you should have seen the look on your face. And I guess that's what it takes. Comparing your belly aches. And it's been a long time. What degrees at this watch of mine. And I know that I miss you. And I'm sorry if I dissed you. Yeah, I know that I miss you. And I'm sorry if I dissed you. I'm sorry if I dissed you. I'm so sorry if I dissed you. Eating snowflakes with plastic forks and a paper plate. Of course, you think of everything. And it's been a long time. What agrees with this watch of mine? eating snowflakes with plastic forks and a paper plate. Of course, you think of everything. Eating trailers with no class. Goddamn, I hope I can pass. High school means nothing. And the shout that you're all fake. And you should have seen the look on your face. Now I guess that's what it takes when you're comparing your belly aches. Been a long time. What's agrees this what's of mine. And I know that I miss you. And I'm sorry that I dissed you. Yeah, I know that I miss you. And I'm sorry if I dissed you. I'm sorry if I dissed you. I'm so sorry if I dissed you. Modest Mouse, everybody, Modest Mouse. All right, thank you. Let's try this other one. This one's a good one. All right, thanks, y'all. That's a nice intimate crowd. I like these intimate crowds better. Thank you. Okay, calm down, everybody. Calm down. Let's get back to work here. Got some comments on the chat here. Thanks, J Van, for the night. I'm glad you're here. You're liking it and enjoying it. Soothing. Liz Myers says, "Crappy holidays, please." All right, I'll do it. I could do that on here, no problem. Hecker Arts is in Del Mar. Oh, cool. I'm glad you've seen me play. That's awesome. At Nate's Garden Grill. Thanks for tuning in today. I appreciate it. We'll play some banjo. I've only got like 15 minutes left, so I better get on with some songs. What else? I was gonna play Crappy Holidays, and okay, I'll play Crappy Holidays. Looks like I'll switch over to the guitar now, and yeah, Seven's cute. Oh man. Jay Van saying in the words of Seven, who's her nephew, clap your hands, everybody. Yep. Everybody clap. Kids are great. Well, they can be great. They can be amazing. And so can banjos. This is my banjo. I promise everybody I'm going to get better at this. Oh, yeah. Liz Myers has a Christmas tree there. I'm going to get better at this, including like watching the chat, knowing when to watch the chat and when not to. I can't play Big Pretty Blue. I've only played that one time to record it, I think. There's some songs that I've written over the years that I've only played one time for the recording. This is a funny story. I'll tell it as fast as I can. But a couple years ago, I was listening to Spotify, and I can't listen to myself a whole lot. I don't listen to my recordings, my old recordings. I know a lot of artists feel that way. Bob Dylan even says he's that way. He doesn't. If he says if somebody puts a recording on of his music, he'll go and he'll like go to into another place. Hang on a second. I'm trying to find what's going on here. Uh-oh. Give me a second. What happened to my banjo's preset? There it is, I think. Yeah. But anyway, I don't listen to my music a whole lot, and I know a lot of artists don't too. I have some friends. I won't give their names out, but because maybe they don't want to know people knowing they don't like listening to their music. But I have some famous friends who are the same way. They're like, no, dude, I won't listen to my recordings except for every once in a while. And I'm the same way. But a few years ago, I think I had a flu, and I was like feverish and stuff. And this is usually when it happens to me. I was listening to Spotify, and this song came on, and I was like, wow, this is what I like, trying to find stuff like this, like discovering new music on Spotify. And I was like listening to this song, and then I got like, I don't know, 20 or 30 seconds into it. I was like, wait, that's me. It was one of my songs. It's one of my songs. I won't even tell you what song it is because it's really good. But I only played it to record it, and I had been playing it, a lot by myself, but I never played it publicly. And I recorded it and never played it live, and I never really thought about it again. And why did I start talking about that? Oh, Big Pretty Blue is one of those songs too. I pretty much wrote it. It's one of those songs where you're shoving your ex-lover's face in the mud, which I don't do a whole lot of, to be honest. I mean, I don't shove people's faces in the mud, but sometimes you just have to get mad somehow so you could just break the spell. It was nothing personal. You can listen to that song on Spotify, or please buy it on Bandcamp for a lot of money. Please pay for it if you want to. This song is called Crappy Holidays. I'm going to play. And it's about how hard it is to find a partner these days, I guess. Or maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just personally about all my misfortunes with women over the years. So this song's called Crappy Holidays. Here it goes. Well, friends, it's hard for a man to meet a woman these days. And when he does meet a woman, it's even harder for him to get along with her for any length of time. Well, I wrote a song about it. Here it goes. Well, Valentine's Day, it came and went, and I professed my love to my ex-girlfriend. I won't regret that text that I sent, though she replied that she's now pregnant. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. And St. Patrick's Day, I got sad again, 'cause the girl I really like came out to hear my band. All the people drunk and screaming, she couldn't hear a thing. And then she introduced me to her ugly Irish boyfriend. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. He looks like a leprechaun. Just kidding, he's alright. He's a good guy. I'm glad they're happy. They got married. I just had to write that verse, And then the 4th of July, I was a lonely guy. I asked the girl out that I sorta like. She told me unless I have made up my mind to leave her alone and go crawl away and die. It was a crappy holiday, and I'll be okay. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. I think this is the most biting verse I've ever written, this next one. I think it might be my most poignant, relevant verse ever made. And Halloween is supposed to be scary, so why'd all these girls dress up so sexy? Don't they know it makes me feel more lonely if I had to go home alone? I was drunk and horny. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. Boo-hoo. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's great when girls dress up like Playboy playmates. But not on Halloween, please. Halloween's supposed to be scary with blood and guts and gore and fangs. It's confusing for a grown man to go out on Halloween and get turned on. So I started a movement. It was called hashtag Let's Take Halloween Back. But somebody beat me to it with their hashtag of Halloween's supposed to be gory, not hoary. Well, please excuse my negativity, but last year was a horrible one for me. I was alone with the flu for Christmas, good grief. Then got dumped by my girl 3 days before New Year's Eve. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. That's right, she dumped me 3 days before New Year's Eve. I'm not sure why, but I'm sure it was my fault. It's always my fault, come on. But it was awkward because we ended up at the same New Year's Eve party together. And she asked me for a ride home. I gave her a ride home, didn't bring up the fact that she had dumped me 3 days before that. Saw her to her door and said, Happy New Year. But then 3 days into the New Year, she calls me up and said she's mad because I didn't try anything on New Year's Eve. I don't know if I ever understand women. I'm not supposed to clap for that. I think women are a mystery, and that's why men will love them forever and ever. Well, people ask me about my New Year's resolutions. Well, mine is to stay out of a mental institution. I say that half jokingly, 'cause I know it's not me. It's this world that's crazy. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. Now here is the somewhat happy ending. I'm paying my bills and I'm making a living. Life is magical when I let it be. Thank God I'm alive and I'm still breathing. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. It was a crappy holiday, but I'll be okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. That song was a lot longer than I thought it was. That song went on and on and on. Yo, Michael, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Michael is a good friend of mine for a long time. That guy's a truther for sure. We talk about all kinds of crazy stuff. So, all right. I'm glad you like the laugh tracks in the. Yeah. All right, man. Let's see. Did I say I was gonna play something else? There's something else I'm gonna play. I'll play San Francisco for J Van. This is it. Last song. This is the last song. Thanks a lot, everybody. Oh, I gotta mention. Did anybody Venmo me or anything? Let's look. I was gonna thank anybody who Venmo me. I didn't do that last time. Let's look on Venmo. Not a. I don't know. Let's see. I gotta put in my password now. Oh man, sorry about this, y'all. Is there, one of these days I'll be able to use my phone while I'm playing. Like I can look at my phone, but yeah, no. Oh wait, there is $25,000. Oh my God. Oh cool. Thanks everybody. Looks like Jeffrey Stork. He was one of my banjo students for a long time. He's a great guy, good banjo player. He's come a long way with his banjo playing and singing. And Sonia H, thank you so much. I appreciate the. She says live show rant. Thanks. I appreciate that. And let's look on PayPal. Is anybody on PayPal? Nobody's. My parents are on PayPal. Let's see. Oops, hit the wrong button. I'm on PayPal. Everybody uses PayPal, but everybody tips with Venmo. I'm not sure why, but looks like some money came in on PayPal too. Thanks a lot to Jan Hutchinson, J-Van, I call her. She sent some money in. Thanks, J-Van. That's awesome. All right, well, I'm going to do one more song, and that's it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I think I've said everything. I didn't tell a joke. I think the whole thing was a joke, so I don't know. I guess my short jokes are not that good, so. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Loved your concert. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Thanks for chiming in. Got one more song here. This song's called San Francisco. I'm going to go a little overtime today. What time is it? Yeah, all right. It's almost 5 here. All right. This song's called San Francisco. It's a song I wrote about a relationship I had about 13 years ago. And we're really good friends now. She's one of my best friends now. So but it was hard. We went through hell. All right. See you guys next time. I might do this next week, or I'm going to do at least once a month. I got a couple of openings next week, so I might announce that. Look out for that. And I assume you don't have any more questions because there's no more chats there. If you do, I'll answer them real quick after this song. Well, I guess that's how that saying goes, 'cause I left my heart in San Francisco. Now I'm out here on the East Coast, walking around like I've seen a ghost. I've tried to call you on the telephone. When you don't answer, I feel so alone. But I'm still in love with you, darling. Are you still in love with me? I hope we'll be together again when we're off our journey of our self-discovery, of our self-discovery, of our self-discovery. It's very hard to be this far apart, with only words to convey my heart. 'Cause we're left stranded in the dark, looking for a flame to protect the spark. Ah, the universe must be very smart, 'cause only you could open my heart. That I'm still in love with you, darling. Are you still in love with me? I hope we'll be together again when we're off our journey of our self-discovery, of our self-discovery, of our self-discovery. Well, I guess it's how that saying goes, 'cause I left my heart in San Francisco. All right, thanks everybody, thanks everybody, thanks everybody for coming out today. Hey, Jeffrey Helton chimed in. Good to hear from you, dude. Good talking to you on the phone the other day. Jeff Helton's in South Kakalaki too. And Danny, my former banjo student, now my guitar student, and he's living out there somewhere in Minnesota or Illinois. Miss you too, man. Thanks for chiming in today. See you guys next time. I'm out. Thanks for everything and everybody.